going down, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. We took a little bit of time off on Saturday and Sunday. We had some scheduling issues and whatnot, but we're back here on Monday. Happy Labor Day to everybody. We're here to talk to you about everything that's been going on. We took a lot of time off, mainly because we're watching all the cuts, all the final 53 that's been going down. Even though they say it's the final 53, we all know injuries happen, cuts, trades all happen. So we know the 53 isn't exactly set right now, especially with people on IR set to come off. We have that going on too. For instance, Lyle Collins for the Cowboys is on IR with a hip issue. He's set to come back within 6 weeks, and they got to cut somebody else.
It's different this year.
Oh yeah, because it's after a certain time they
Yeah.
can come off. Yeah, if they're placed on IR after a certain date, they can come off like
3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3
Yep.
weeks. That's right. So hopefully I'm not 100% sure of his recovery, but hips, especially linemen dipping, twisting, and whatnot. Hopefully speedy recovery for that guy. But yeah, like we were talking about, some cuts happened, some extensions did happen. Yeah.
And a couple injuries. But yeah, this will be the last chunk of news before the season starts in about 3 days. So this is pretty much everyone's team right now, not counting for injuries and anything else that may pop up. So we'll cover all that today. You want to start with some signings?
Yeah. Let's go over some signings. Let's see here. You want to talk about extensions or?
Yeah, we could do extensions. I think the biggest one's Deshaun Watson. He landed a huge deal with the Texans, of course. 4 years, $177 million with $111 guaranteed. So to me, right when I saw this, I thought that this is pretty much the deal that Dak Prescott wanted, the 4-year deal that he'll be able to cash in on in a few years, right when that new TV deal is done with the NFL. And, they're saying the salary cap might even double by that time. So I think it's a great deal for Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's definitely deserved. It's one of my favorite players to watch. He's just, he's a great player. So.
Yeah, I'm glad he got paid. I know that Lamar Jackson's probably licking his chops right now because everyone's got paid except for the former MVP.
Yep.
It's good for Deshaun Watson. He's making chicken salad, chicken shit, everything that's been going on over there at Houston, trading away DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, yeah, they do got some widely veterans there with Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb, but they also traded away their best, their best asset on the offense. But hopefully Larry Tunsil can protect them, give him some more time to go around and whatnot, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I hope they get some more weapons around him. He's a guy that he needs it,
his
especially a wide
receiver
receiver
versus home. Yeah.
Even
definitely needs a big time on Mohamed Sanu a little bit.
Even get him a tight end, man. I know the Texans aren't really known for their tight end work, but anything to help this guy out, would just make that contract that much more worth it.
Yeah, they haven't really had a tight end that's been, a star since probably Owen Daniels. But, it'd be nice to have like one of these dual threat type of tight ends like Jordan Reed or Evan Ingram, kind of those type of guys. Ertz even a little bit. I know he's a little bit better blocker, but he's not known for his blocking. He's known for his route runnings and his pass catching and whatnot. Another guy that recently just got paid is Tre'Davious White. So you got the details on that?
Yeah, Tre'Davious White sticking with the Bills, 4 years, $70 million. And I think the most important part about this one is they got the deal done before Ramsey. Because we know Ramsey, he's on that 1-year deal in LA with the Rams, and he's looking to set the market. So Tre'Davious White goes in there, gets his deal done right before that, and now Ramsey's sitting there licking his chops. So good move.
Yeah, Ramsey. I mean, the Rams are going to be in some kind of trouble here. I mean, they just paid Donald last year. They paid Goff, and now they just got to, they got to pay Ramsey. They got to find some money somehow, maybe restructure somebody's contract. We'll see. I mean, I know they spent a lot of money in the past trying to bring in these mercenaries. It's kind of cost them a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know who they can cut and Aaron Donald's a huge deal. I don't know who else that they have a lot of money really tied into. I can't think of a lineman. They got rid of Gurley.
They're still paying Gurley and their money still counts towards the books.
I know they took a huge hit for the Gurley cut.
Let me check.
Cooper Kupp, he's also coming up soon. He's going to want to get paid, or he's Goff's favorite target, so that's another guy that they're going to have to keep around. I mean, that guy's valuable to that offense.
Yeah, that guy is way too valuable. I mean, I love him. At the slot, his route running is amazing. His hands are reliable.
I don't think they've paid Robert Woods either, have they?
Yeah, I haven't, and I'm wondering if they're going to – I mean, Whitworth is kind of towards the end of his year.
Yep.
I mean, if they want to go with a different tight end, they have to pay Higbee here soon.
Yeah, they have not managed that cap very well. Especially they had that one boom year where they made it to the Super Bowl, and it's kind of fell apart since then cap-wise.
Yeah, they have in dead money this year. They have $36,069,697.
Yeah,
you got Brandon Cooks still getting paid, Todd Gurley still getting paid, and Clay Matthews still getting paid, and John Franklin Myers also getting paid. It's a little chunk of money, 200,000 plus, but. Yeah, they got a lot of money that's been shelling out. Jared Goff has taken a lot of it. I think maybe they restructure him a little bit. He seems to be the quarterback in the face of that future there.
Yep.
I think that if they restructure a little bit, maybe add a couple more years to it. I'm pretty sure he seems like a team player. He'll take a pay cut to keep his buddy Cooper Kupp on at least.
Yeah, that's going to be I hate to say it, but I don't know if Ramsey's going to end up getting his deal there. That's going to be tough.
Yeah. Hey, you could get your wish. The Cowboys could take him.
I don't think the Cowboys will be able to pay him either. Yeah, I don't think
I know you wanted them in the draft, but
yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'll get it. The next guy that I got up for extension-wise is one of our favorite wide receivers out there, Keenan Allen with the Chargers. He becomes the second highest paid wide receiver. Another 4-year extension. These seem to be popular at $80 million. When I was looking at this, I was kind of surprised that he's only 28 years old. For some reason, I thought he was a little bit older, but 28 years old, he's cashing in. He's just that big target that's going to be very valuable for this team with the rookie quarterback. If Herbert ends up working out there, Keenan Allen's just a guy that you have to have as one of his weapons. We know he's a great route runner, and I just think he's one of these guys where great technique just outweighs, his speed or strength and things like that, and that's what keeps you in the league for a long time is that great technique.
Yeah, when all else fails, you can always rely on your technique, and his route running is just so amazing. I love seeing that battle on Hard Knocks between him and
his release.
Harris Jr. His release is strong. Him and I'd say Devontae Adams are probably some of the best in the games when it comes to release. Getting on the DB's toes and whatnot, making them guess, or that famous hop step by that this guy is amazing. It's funny. I know we were talking about cap space with the LA Rams, but when you go to the dead money to the LA Chargers, they only have $8 million compared to the Rams' $36 million.
Yep.
I know they've been pretty, contract savvy in their not savvy. I guess contract happy in their past few weeks and whatnot. I know Ingram got a little bit more chunk of change. They give that big deal to Bosa, and now Keenan Allen. And yeah, I totally agree with you when it says it's going to help the growth of of Herbert right there, especially having. Tyrod Taylor there as well. He's always seemed like a wily vet, someone that can, take care of it and whatnot. So, and then Eckler got paid too, didn't he? He didn't get a little extension?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a while ago though, because it was funny.
Yeah, that was.
Melvin Gordon was wanting to get paid, and then right soon after that, they're like, no, we'll just pay Eckler a little less, and we'll be happy with that. So,
yeah, I mean,
taking that
undrafted free agent coming out of Western. So,
I just want to veer off just for a split second because you mentioned Keenan Allen just running routes on Hard Knocks and stuff like that, and some clips came out of Derwin James guarding him in practice. I don't know if you saw that, but Derwin James was kind of locking him up, and that's extremely rare for a safety to be able to do that. And then, unfortunately, we hear this week that he ended up getting that meniscus injury, and he's going to be out 6 to 8 months. So, that goes his whole season once again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Derwin James, I know he's been battling injuries since his days at college. Yep. He missed all last year. Then this year he's missing a big chunk of it. It's unfortunate. He was one of my favorite safeties coming out. I know a lot of teams stayed clear of him. That's why he fell to pick 17 in the 2018 draft. Because of that injury scare, and it's showing up still in this professional career, which is unfortunate because he had such a promising rookie career. Rookie year, the one defensive rookie of the year, and then following year he gets hurt, then he ends up getting hurt again, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think he made that All-Pro as a rookie.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. Yeah, he made a first-team All-Pro, and then obviously first-team Rookie League, and then he was Pro Bowl.
Yeah, poor guy.
Another person I got to mix. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's only going to be playing 5 games in the last 2 years, so
yeah.
He's just can't stay on the field, but it's just something that it always seems like this happens to the Chargers every year. So we love Duran James. Hopefully he comes back next year at 100%. I'll be ready to watch.
Hopefully he just cleans up what's going on in there. I mean, there could be some scar tissue that's, kind of hemorrhaging some of the joints and whatnot. But another guy that got an extension is Cameron Hayward.
Yep.
He's going to be the highest paid defensive player over 30. I didn't realize he was that old. Yeah, he gets paid a 4-year extension worth around $71.4 million.
Yeah, that's a staple to their defensive line. So Cameron Hayward, he deserves it. I did not know that he was over 30, which is surprising, but I don't think his game has really fell off, man. He's been solid there the last few years since he's been there. And, he like I said, he's a staple to that defensive line. And, hey, he's there. They got some young guys there that are up and coming and looking great, so he's leading the way.
Yeah, he's 31.
31, okay.
So, yeah, I've been a fan of him since coming out of Ohio State, coming in the league in 2011. I know one thing that me and you have always followed is if they have that lineage in, or that NFL bloodline. And I know his dad, is nicknamed the Ironhead, played in the league for so many years. And then this guy, Cameron Hayward comes out and he's always such a stud, taking on, double teams, being able to be so functional, being that big too. It's something amazing to watch,
Yep. I also see here named defensive captain for the 2020 season. So he's definitely earned that money, and he's proved to the Steelers that he's worth it.
Oh, he has a total of 397 tackles and 54 sacks.
Wow.
That's crazy. That is some silent Hall of Fame numbers right there.
That's hard to do from that position to a defensive tackle.
So. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully he does good. I know they just lost Hargraves, right?
Did they? I didn't see that.
Hargraves. I think Hargraves is on the Eagles now.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah.
He is. So. I thought you meant to injury.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Team up with Hargraves.
And we got another extension, right, with Andy Reid. You got the details on that?
Yeah, Andy Reid, I didn't get the numbers on it. I mean, the numbers don't really, they don't count against the salary cap like players do. So they're kind of little hush on the numbers for that. But it's a 5-year extension. We know Patrick Mahomes got his 10-year extension. So this goes exactly halfway through that. And it's also with the GM, Brett Veach. So to me, this is the best head coach quarterback duo in the league. They just fit each other so perfectly. It's it's a match made in heaven with these two, but they just seem to have a vision, and they go out there and they draft according to that vision. You see how this high octane offense just keeps pumping in those fast guys, and got them to the Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. So they didn't lose many people this offseason, and the Chiefs might have had maybe the best offseason of any team. If you just think about it, they won the Super Bowl. They, I think, lost one of their starters or something like that. But they didn't really lose anyone. They re-signed everyone that they thought, was a little bit questionable to return. And, yeah, the Chiefs are primed for another Super Bowl run, man.
Yeah, when it comes around, especially with this weird offseason that we've been having, like you said, being that they lost only one starter is something special because, it's hard. After you win a Super Bowl, a lot of you want to leave. They were able to retain a lot of those guys. I know that same goes for the 49ers. They have, a lot of consistency along their offense and their defense. And then especially making the Chiefs, going back to the Chiefs, making their young quarterback happy by, paying him and also paying that stud Chris Jones, man.
Exactly.
That's something great. I know he wasn't really happy with the contract details and numbers that he did have, but after he got paid. He seems to be happy. He seems to be having a great camp.
Yeah, we see a running joke online that people keep saying, "Where do the Chiefs keep getting this cap space?" Because they literally have re-signed everyone, and yeah, Chris Jones was a big one who no one really thought he'd be back, and of course they locked him down.
Yeah, definitely glad to see that guy back there and consistent home. I mean, if he went somewhere else, I'll still be rooting for him, but I think he was happiest in KC, so I'm glad he's staying there.
Yep.
Any more extensions?
Yeah, we do got one more big one. Yeah. That was Joe Mixon. Once again, another 4-year extension worth $48 million. And I have to admit, when I saw this come across the wire, I was kind of disappointed because I just really wish he would have hit free agency at some point. I just think he deserves to be on a great team. The Bengals just over the years, they haven't had a good offensive line. Their quarterback play has been subpar. And, I always think if he had a great offensive line and solid team, he would shine and be a top 3 running back. So once again, going into this year, he has one of the worst offensive lines with a rookie quarterback. So hopefully it's a step in the right direction, but I think it's still going to take another year or two with the Joe and Joe mix. It's going to be Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow. So
good cup of Joe.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, when I think I share the same reaction to you. I kind of wish he went to free agency to get to a better team, because when I'm looking at his numbers, now he hasn't had one season where he hit 1,200 yards. The closest he got last year is
and we all know he could do it.
7 yards, but yeah, he definitely can. They need to hurry up that offensive line for sure. You can't go into a season with your starting line and have Bobby Hart on there. He hasn't really shown anything. He hasn't really, given anything. I mean, next year, if they kind of go down the same road and they're able to, get Penei Sewell, I think they're in such a better position. Adding a guy like that would be amazing. But yeah, they need to protect that young quarterback and also that young running back as well to, open up some holes and, give that guy some time to throw. I mean, he's got some, solid receiving weapons over there now. So
sure does. When I also saw this, we know the 2 other running backs that are waiting to get paid were Alvin Kamara and Dalvin Cook. And I thought it was pretty weird, the Alvin Kamara news that came out this week is just the string of events. It just kept catching me off guard. It was like, first he wasn't practicing because they said it was contract related. And then soon after that, it went to, oh no, he's injured and he had an epidural shot in his back. And then it went to, okay, he's on the trading block now. And then soon after that, both sides came out like the next day and said that that was resolved, and he's going to be on the team and playing for him this year. So when I saw that, the thing that caught my attention the most was that damn epidural in the back. That's just a little bit of a concern when the season's 3 days away, maybe for him 5 days away. But I just hope he's 100% because he's damn exciting to watch. And yeah, he's a crucial part of that Saints offense.
Yeah, that's definitely something crazy because, like you said, that shot's pretty insane because it doesn't take care of the pain. It masks it. That's pretty much just putting a Band-Aid on it. It doesn't really take care. It numbs the pain pretty much. It's like pretty much just getting like a cortisone shot. I mean, it's the same shot that women get when they're pregnant, but it doesn't. It's not going to take care of that. It's not a permanent solution, I should say.
That's exactly what I thought. A back injury, just going to keep popping up and popping up. So,
kind of the reason why I wanted to stay away from him with all the fantasy teams that I have. I was kind of sketched out as soon as I saw he had a shot, and then the whole thing, like you were saying, hey, he's gonna get traded. He's being shopped, and then his agent's like, "Oh, we never asked for that." And then the team comes out like, "Oh yeah, that was just a misunderstanding." Yeah, and the whole thing is a little bit weird. I mean, and he's still not showing up. At least Dalvin Cook's showing up and still practicing and whatnot, and kind of pounding the table, pay me, which is Now I wouldn't really pay a running back.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. That's also in 2 out of the 3 fantasy football leagues that I'm in. I picked up some Latavius Murray stock a little later on in the draft. So you never know, that could be a savior down the road if something happens to Alvin this year.
Yeah, that's something that you've always been pretty savvy at. You've always been able to get like the handcuffs, and you've always been able to kind of look at them early. I know that you did that 1 year with you did that last year actually with Madison, didn't you? Didn't you pick up some stock in Madison? I know I went the other way. I went with Boone, and he kind of shit the bed for me in the finals.
I did like even the draft we did last night. I picked up Kareem Hunt. I picked up Latavius Murray. I picked up Darrell Williams. I picked up Marlon Mack. They're just all guys that if that starter goes down, that guy steps in and could save your season. So they're flyers. They're not going to be starting every week or even in my flex spot, but they're guys that if something goes wrong, they could be valuable.
I do like that Marlon Mack pick. I mean, I wanted him a little bit later. I was hoping nobody really batted the eye as soon as Jonathan Taylor left. But Marlon Mack was picked, and honestly, I think that they're going to be splitting carries. I don't think that they're going to give all the fair share to Taylor because he does have a lot of, tread on. He doesn't really have a lot of tread on his tires with all those carries that he got.
Especially early this year with the rookies and the limited practice, I could see that. But yeah, invest in those veterans. A couple other things. Go ahead.
No. That was going to see if that was all for the extensions, correct?
Yeah, that was all for the extensions. I was going to get into some signings, some guys on new teams. I got 3 of them right here, or 4. So the first one, the big one was Jadeveon Clowney. He finally picked his destination and ended up signing with the Titans. And, he had a down year last year in Seattle, as we all know. He kind of wanted to put up those big numbers and land a huge contract, I think around like $20 million a year. But this contract ended up only being a 1-year deal worth $12 million. So he has the opportunity to make up to $15 million, and that's what 25% less than he's ideally looking for. So I think he kind of waited a little too long. I know he was being a little greedy. He fired his agent. He was trying to work out things. The Saints brought him in for a dinner. But I just think he dragged it out way too long. Maybe his ideal scenario was he didn't have to do any of this training camp stuff. But we'll see if he can catch up on the fly now with the Titans, and if he can get to live up to his expectation that from when he was drafted.
Yeah, I know when he had his best years in Houston, when actually Mike Vrabel was his position coach and defensive coordinator. So reuniting that in Tennessee is pretty exciting to see. Man, I'm looking at this defensive line, man. It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I know that we got your. I'm pretty sure this guy was your favorite draft prospect in the draft last year
I
with
know who you're
Jeffrey
gonna say.
Simmons, and then
Yep.
yeah, then you got
Love him.
Jadeveon Clowney, then you got Harold Landry coming on that edge. You got Daquan Jones, Jack Crawford. I'm pretty excited for this defense. It's a scary defense. I'd love to see it go against a high flying offense like the Texans. I mean, even though they don't have that wide receiver threat, but they do have some speed. I want to see that. I want to see if they can get to the quarterback fast, and I want to see them go against KC or the Patriots. I'm excited to see this defense. I think this defense is up and coming for sure.
Definitely. The next guy that made a move, he was on the free agency for a while, and we talked about him a little bit before he signed, but that's Logan Ryan, the defensive back, going to the Giants, and I think that's a pretty good signing for them. I just think he's perfect for that little nickel box safety role. Even blitzing off the edge, he's pretty good at. So it just fills that void in that defense, exactly what they needed. And he's a good player on the field. He's a good player off the field. Brings a little bit of, stability.
Leadership.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's just, we know Earl Thomas is out there too, but he's probably the preferred guy over Earl at this point, just with all the drama that's going on with him.
Yeah, especially with all the drama that's been going on with DeAndre Baker, their first-round draft pick last year. He's going to be out of the league. And then right now you got the starting corners. They have them listed as Corey Ballantyne and James Bradbury, which is kind of shaky. I know they also signed Isaac Yiadom, which is pretty solid. But now I know they needed to sign a safety, especially with Xavier McKinney going down. So I know they were kind of, hurt for safety. So signing a free safety like Logan Ryan is really good. Like you were saying, he is versatile. He can play that nickel positions. Playing that slot position is pretty much key for them. So I'm glad that he found a home. I know that he's another guy like Jadeveon Clowney who fired his agent, then instantly found a new home. So that's something exciting to see.
Yeah, did you want to touch on any of that Earl Thomas stuff? I just thought it was weird because to me, I never really considered him like a bad teammate. I mean, we know he was having his outs in Seattle when he got injured and stuff like that. And to me, I feel like that's like when it started, when we started hearing the negative things about him. But now I hear stuff about him missing practice, fighting with teammates, just stuff that, it doesn't seem like the Earl Thomas of old.
Yeah, I mean, even dating back to Texas, he was always such a good teammate. But when I'm looking back at it, at Texas, he didn't have to be the guy on that defense, even though they had a solid, secondary back there as well. Then you go into the Seattle Seahawks, you're looking at that. Yeah. He was part of the Legion of Boom. He didn't have to be the guy. But when it came to being like he's the only focus point on this, it's something different.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was ego, or maybe someone couldn't check him that was on that defense. I don't know. But not only I think the biggest thing was that when he posted the video of practice, that's a huge, you can't do that stuff. I mean, just leaking out formations and things like that. Not to mention his off the field drama that he had this year with his wife.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I think maybe he needs to take some time, just kind of reflect on what he needs to do. I know a lot of people are saying you got, the Twitter handles all over the place. Oh, he should go to Dallas. He should go to the Texans. I think he just needs to take some time, just kind of reflect, think about put himself in a timeout, have some self-reflection. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I know that worked really, really well for, Randy Moss. I know he went through all that time, took some time off, and then he came back in, resurfaced with the 49ers, and went to the Super Bowl. He was a key part of that offense, that veteran leadership, and he's a good player. I know that he wasn't really happy towards the end of the time in Seattle. He wasn't happy in Baltimore. He wasn't really used to having somebody to step up or call him out on his shit. And I'm glad that, Kenny Clark did, saying, hey, man, he misses assignment. You've been missing all these, film study sessions.
Yep.
What the hell's going on? And they go to toes. And like you said, that's a big no-no, releasing videos of practice.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Maybe he should visit with also a fellow Texas Longhorn, Ricky Williams. He can calm him down a little bit. He took a year off.
He did.
So do some meditation, some yoga, get it going. But I just think there's too many red flags for Earl right now. And if he gets signed to a team, especially a bad team, I could just see it not working out good. If they're losing and he's acting like this, it's not going to end pretty. So buyer beware, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With the Seahawks, we know that he was on the Seahawks for a while, and this just seems to be an annual announcement that we have to make, and that's Josh Gordon is reinstated once again. So
yeah, he's reinstated, and he's going back to the Seattle Seahawks,
to Seattle. I remember seeing him practicing with Russell Wilson during the off season, so it kind of seemed like the writing was on the wall. If he was going to go anywhere, it'd be there. But it's a very small deal, 1 year, $1 million. Maybe this new marijuana policy, helped him get back reinstated. But he did also have that PED hit, so I don't know if he's going to get suspended for a game or two for that. But I just think overall this is good news for Russell Wilson, just because this might be, one of the best wide receiver weapons cores he's had since he's been there. DK, Lockett in the slot, Josh Gordon. I even like Disley. They brought in Greg Olsen, but Disley did his thing when he was healthy last year, and then a nice stable of running backs behind him. So, I like the move.
I think their only weakness over there in Seattle is their offensive line.
Of course,
it's always been like that, but leave it to that magician, quarterback Russell Wilson to do his thing. And I hope this year they let him run loose a little bit. I know in the fourth quarter is when they allow him to run a little bit instead of just scramble to search for a wide open receiver, which allows him to get sacked or lose some yardage and whatnot. But I hope this works out for Josh Gordon. I've always been a fan of him. And I kind of wish it was on a different team other than Seattle. But we're excited to see him back in the league, though, for sure. He's definitely an exciting player to watch.
Yeah, of course. One story that I know you want to talk about was that Raiders trade of Lynn Bowden Jr., who they just drafted, in the third round this year, which was really weird. He gets traded to Miami. What is it? And a sixth for a fourth rounder.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. When he got drafted, I was excited. I said, oh, great. Like, they're going to have another solid receiver. And then rumors been going around saying that they wanted to push him at, running back. And I know that there's been some negative feedback from the beat writers and whatnot, saying that he's having trouble fitting in and whatnot. I would understand that. But if you're going to have him switch positions, again, this is a receiver in college, and then he stepped in to play quarterback in college. Yep. And then he gets drafted as a running back. I understand he ran the Wildcat, but doesn't necessarily make him the best running back. So I think that they should have tried him a little bit at a receiver as well. Don't give up on this guy. Let him learn a little bit, but I understand they got a fourth round draft pick back, but man, I tell you what, when he got drafted, I was really excited for the Raiders. I was happy for them, but this trade just doesn't make sense. I don't understand why you want to give up on him. When he gets traded to Miami, they already have him listed at receiver, which is good. I'm glad they have him at receiver, so he's gonna definitely get battle right there in the slot with Jakeem Grant in Miami. So it's pretty exciting over there. I'm glad he got out. Another thing that they did that was kind of surprising as well is they cut Demarius Randall. I wasn't expecting that because I was surprised with that because they listed him at starter, a starting safety. So I was like, hey man, they have a solid safety tandem over there. Then he gets cut. I know talking to some fans, talking to some beat writers, they're saying that he just was having a terrible camp. So
yeah. Can you think of the last time a third rounder was either cut or traded that quickly before the first game?
was Ja'Kai Polite a third rounder?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, and he ended up on
Ja'Kai
practice
Polite,
squad, bro.
man.
Yeah, Ja'Kai Polite, good one. Yeah.
I don't know if he was a third rounder or not. He might have been a fifth rounder because of his attitude. I don't
Yeah.
even think he has a job right now.
Yeah. No, I don't think he does. I think he's out of the league. But yeah, the Lynn Bowden one was definitely weird. To me, I think it was just one of these things where, of course, like you said, it's going to take him time to develop wherever he's at. But we know he was a good player in college. He's probably decent at a lot of things, but he's not great at that one thing yet. So hopefully in Miami, they'll pin him down at wide receiver and he'll have time to work on it and, show that he's the athlete that he is.
And one thing I do like is that they do get a fourth round draft pick back.
Yeah.
That's nice, but they also gave Miami their 6th round pick back that they got in the trade of Raekwon McKellen. And I do like that they got Raekwon McKellen for sure. And then their linebackers are pretty stout over there in Las Vegas. So pretty stoked to see those linebackers in Las Vegas for sure. But I mean, I really wish they didn't give up on Lynn Bowden. I was a big fan of him in college, but it's okay. I get to root for him in Miami, so that's okay.
There you go. A couple cuts to get to, and the 3 that I have written down here are all surprises. The first one was the Jags cut Leonard Fournette, and then we know he kind of shopped himself around for a little bit, then ended up landing with the Buccaneers. So to me, it was kind of like the Kamara thing. It was just a weird string of events. It's, as we could tell, players just do not like it in Jacksonville right now. And it kind of seemed like Jacksonville didn't really like Fournette there. So we know they brought in Chris Thompson. He's like the coach's pet from Washington, and he's going to team up with Gruden once again. And I think Leonard Fournette had like 72 catches last year. So we know a lot of that was going to come off of his plate. So he probably wasn't too happy about that. But now he lands with the Bucs, and it was funny because right when I saw he was released, I said he should go to the Buccaneers. I'm not really a Ronald Jones fan, and I just like Leonard Fournette's downhill power style. I think he's a great addition to there when these boxes are light and Tom Brady's picking apart, to have this guy just go and slam the ball down their throat. So we'll see how long it kind of takes him to catch up and learn this offense. I know they won't put him out there without having the full trust of Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, but I totally expect him to take over the starter role and run with it.
I feel so bad because I had a buddy asking me, like, hey, who's a sleeper? I need a running back that's a sleeper. And I said Ronald Jones. And this is before Leonard Fournette was cut. Now he gets picked up and put on the Buccaneers, which pretty much has a heavy backfield back there now, especially signing Shady McCoy. But the Jaguars, cutting him, kind of shot themselves in the foot. I know they have Rockwell Armstead, but he just tested positive for COVID-19, so he's out for a little bit. So it's unfortunate, and I'm glad that Leonard Fournette found a new team. He hasn't been the same since. I mean, coming out of LSU, he hasn't really done much. He hasn't lived up to that hype that he had. Maybe a new scenery will help. I know that 2017, pretty much, like you were saying, nobody was happy in the Jacksonville Jaguar. That's why I feel bad sometimes when people get drafted there, like Laviska Shenault, DJ Henderson. It's unfortunate for them because everybody in that 2017 defense is gone. Calais Campbell's gone, Ramsey's gone, AJ Bouyer's gone. They just traded Ronnie Harrison to the Browns. He's gone. Like, what's going on here, guys? Like, I know that Tom Coughlin's gone there now, but and I think maybe they need to, change the scenery as far as changing the head coach, maybe changing out the GM.
I think
things
GM
need to get better.
Is the GM Coughlin? I know he has some part of it, but I know guys don't like him there.
Let me have my producer
He's
look
I
that
think
up.
he's like a consultant of some sort, but he like tries to set the culture and do things like that. And these players just aren't feeling it. But I
Yeah,
I always thought
is
Fournette. Go ahead. Did you see what he does?
is yeah, no, it's David Codwell. He's the general
Okay.
manager there. Yeah. But Tom Coughlin, he was like the that football executive position
Yeah,
that that Elway had for a little bit, and now he's here.
exactly. But Fournette, to me, I think he's a good running back. He's not that elite status running back. I just think a lot of his stuff did have to do with hype. I mean, he went to LSU. He's one of the most talked about running backs in high school, and he was pretty much a living legend for a while. And once he gets to the NFL, you know, he turned out to be a decent running back, but nothing too special. So hopefully this turns the page for Leonard Fournette and he takes that next step in his career.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
Another living legend who ended up getting cut, Adrian Peterson, which was
Yeah,
a surprise to me, especially after the Darius Geis news earlier in the offseason. But he ended up landing in Detroit with the Lions. So I don't know. Something tells me when it's a guy like Adrian Peterson getting cut, it could have been like a mutual decision where he didn't see him getting that big of a workload. Um, I mean, why stay there? I don't think they're definitely not a Super Bowl contending team. And he had a chance to go to the Lions, who they're more of a Super Bowl contending team than Washington is, and he gets to join another crowded backfield. But that backfield, has Kerryon Johnson, who hasn't been able to stay healthy yet in his career, and also has DeAndre Swift, who's a rookie. And on top of that, he's been hurt all of training camp. So this might be a little bit more of a role for him to step in and get in those early touches earlier in the season. And we know that Matt Patricia loves those power runners. So we'll see.
yeah, especially with putting Bro Scarborough on the IR,
Yep.
bringing in somebody with a veteran leadership, veteran presence like AP. That it seems to be him and Frank Gore are the old dogs in the running
Yes,
back
sir.
room. You don't really see, as soon as you kind of fizzle it out, you kind of fizzle out and you're done.
Yep.
But yeah, all good things for AP. Hopefully he signs, and as soon as he signs there and does his thing.
Good luck, AP, chasing that Emmitt Smith rushing title. I think he's like 4,000 yards away, so
Yeah,
I don't think he'll get it.
I think the biggest surprise cut for me was Mohamed Sanu, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that was the last cut that I had here written on my list, and definitely was a surprise cut. And this was last year. I remember when it was this trade went down at the same exact time as the Emmanuel Sanders to the Niners. And I didn't like the Mohamed Sanu trade at all. I mean, they traded away a second rounder for him for 1 year when they probably could have got Emmanuel Sanders there for a second rounder. I just think Emmanuel Sanders is better than Mohamed Sanu. I've never been a fan of him, even when he was in Atlanta. He just seemed like another guy, a Jag, just another guy. And it wouldn't be surprising to me if he just never makes an impact on any other teams in the NFL. And I don't know. I can't really think of any other team that would really take him immediately. Maybe like the Packers or something like that. But yeah.
I think the Packers would be a solid fit for him. Him and you got Lazard, that growing start
Yep.
there. I know they just cut Carew.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah.
We've talked about for weeks
really
how
there,
weak
man.
the Packers' depth is at wide receiver, and if Devontae Adams goes down, they're screwed. So yeah, Mohamed Sanu, go there. I wouldn't hate it, but I just don't think he's that game changer type of guy. And we saw last year what Emmanuel Sanders could do with the ball in his hand, and Sanu's just not that guy. But dependable hands, could run the route tree. He's going to show up, practice hard every day, and So you pretty much know what you're getting, but the ceiling there is pretty low.
Yeah, for sure.
That covers everything on my list. So I think that pretty much sums up what happened throughout this last week or two. And I'm excited that we finally get football here in 3 days. I'll be on my couch ready to roll fantasy football going. So,
yeah. I just definitely want to give a couple shout outs to the undrafted free agents making the final 53. I think that's awesome. I got a couple of guys that I watched that went undrafted that I really did like. You got Terrence Still, the offensive tackle from Texas Tech. He made it on there with the Cowboys.
Yep.
Another guy I thought was one of the best tight ends in this draft class, Hunter Bryant from Washington, makes it on there with Detroit. Obviously, Hot Rod Blankenship. He beat out Steve McLaughlin over there for the kicking spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
James
funny.
Robinson, running back. He makes it on there with the Jaguars. Let's see here. I had a couple other guys. Let's see. Malcolm Roach from Texas, Hookham. He went ahead and made it over there with the Saints. Let's see here. Marquez Callaway, receiver from Tennessee. He went ahead and made it on there with the Saints as well. Let's see here. One more. Let's see. Oh, there he is. Xavier Jones, running back from SMU. He made it with the Rams. So those are there's a lot of other undrafted free agents that made it with the final 53, but those are some of the guys I kept my eye on, liked a lot, and I'm glad they made the team. Definitely, for sure, glad they made the team. Maybe with the different offseason they would have made it. Go ahead.
I'm excited to see Blankenship with his glasses. I didn't realize he made a team. So.
Speaking of which, have you seen DeAndre Hopkins rocking the goggles now?
No, he's wearing goggles?
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is rocking goggles. I'm going to try to – do you have your phone by you right now?
Yeah, of course.
All right, let me see if I can –
That's funny because Blankenship was about to come in, and that was going to be the staple of his look. And then one of the best wide receivers in the league steals it from you. He'll never get the credit.
All right, I just sent it. I just sent it over to you.
He'll never get the credit.
He's never gonna get the credit.
That's funny.
You see it?
Oh yeah, see Hopkins. Looking good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he rocks.
Kind of want that.
Oh yeah, it's a tinted pair. All right, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
All right. Is that it from you?
All right. Yeah, that's it for me, man.
All right. We'll be back throughout the season to keep you guys updated. Go ahead and check out our channel for coverage of all your favorite teams and players.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. See you.
Peace.